Hello YouTube. So I saw what Michael Sabato, I'm sure I'm butchering his freaking name, was doing with his Project 250R. So I decided I gotta one-up him and do something along the lines of a Project Banshee, or Project 2 Banshees, as it were. And here's the first one. Got this one for $4,500, $5,000 in San Diego. It's got some problems, but it did have a bunch of shit done to it, so I figured it was worth it. It's got a 4 mil, some 34 mil carbs, CPIs, Elkas, +2+1 A arms. They kind of did a hack job on the swing arm. It ended up breaking right here, as you can see down there. Kind of only after a few rides out. The paddles were already pretty shit, so I rode them around here and pretty well killed them all the way. But this is going to be the Glamis bike. Another problem this bike had is the kicker idler gear. It was missing the spacer that goes right here. The spacer right here. And it was missing the washer on the front, as well as the clip that holds it in. So that was actually just riding on the back side of the clutch basket and the flywheel, and you can see it beat up them flywheel bolts pretty good. And there's also another issue, a couple of chipped teeth. I'll be replacing this with a straight cut. You can see the marring from where that gear was riding up against there. I ordered the spacer and the clips, but because of how long this was riding, however it was, it doesn't fit anywhere close to snug on that shaft. So it just wallered out that bushing a little, and I'll have to take and replace that gear too, which is just more shipping delays. This is a 4 mil Athena cylinder stroker. I don't really know much about the motor other than what the seller said. It's got some little bullshit with the cases, like right here. The back of this hole is blown out. The other side is chewed up from a chain coming off, so that'll get new cases. It has that god-awful, horrendous desert tank on it. I hate those things. The plastic sucks, the seat cover sucks. But that front suspension and how that rear shock has been revalved, I don't know who did it, but it works beautifully. I thought I was gonna die a few times. And yeah, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And it just soaked everything up. Didn't really care how hard you hit it. All right, there's the tank that I bought from someone. It's gonna go back on there. It's gonna have new plastics, and it's got a light bar on it, which is, it's bright as hell. But I don't particularly care for that or the job they did putting the battery box in, because that's kind of, well, it's kind of a shit job, to be honest. Nothing really special in the front end yet. You can see where the case got chewed up from the chain. The flywheel's nothing special. It's not lightened or anything. It's got a little advanced plate on there. So, apologize for my garage being a total mess. Kind of just moved in, so the brake caliper reservoir was leaking, so I got a billet one. I got some hoses from Mishimoto to replace all the hoses on the bike. Got a brand new Mishimoto radiator. Has genuine stuff, not that Chinese off-brand crap. Let's see, also got the brand new Henson basket. Although that basket's really not that tore up, I just didn't know what was up with that clutch. Before I pulled it apart, the bike just the clutch stopped working. From that idler gear in there spinning around, it actually, some kind of impact happened and it caused the nut that holds the clutch on to actually loosen. So the clutch was just flopping around in there. And this is an 8-disc setup, and it's only got 7 discs in there with some god-awful hard springs, which are, well, they're not necessary for what this bike has. And you may have noticed the red frame. I just picked this up down in Los Angeles. It's a no paperwork frame. Got it for 250 bucks. And I was able to pull the VIN up because it was kind of all wore down. The frame is actually in perfect shape. Like, zero flaws with it, nothing bent. I kind of suspected it might be stolen. I wasn't sure, but 250 bucks for a Banshee frame in this condition was worth the risk. And I was able to pull the VIN. I don't think who I bought it from was able to read the VIN because it had been rusted over for a long time. But a little bit of Scotch-Brite and a fine Sharpie makes it come right up. You can also do the same thing with some acid, but I wanted to go the Sharpie route first. And I ran the VIN and it came back clean, so you just got to track some paperwork down and that'll be good to go. May have noticed as me walking around, there's a few extra parts that you're like, hey, there's 2 bikes, but there's more parts than 2 bikes worth there. So this was an eBay transmission I got, and both of these shafts, in the camera view here, this shaft is okay with the exception of this end. Some dumbass beat on it with a hammer. There's not really a way to fix that. This shaft, same thing. See a little chip, and you can't really see it with the camera. I'm only using my phone right now. Maybe you can see just a little bit right there. It's mushroomed on the end. I don't know why people feel it's necessary to beat on stuff to get bearings off. Bearing puller will do just fine. But the gears are they look like they're in good shape. May have to try to find some of the bushings that go in there. May not. Don't know yet. Not there yet. But came with some shift forks, which they're not terrible. But if I come over to box number 2, we have basically an entirely new transmission setup, less the gears. You might be wondering, why do I have transmission gears and almost new like a brand new set of transmission stuff when I've only got one together bike? Well, that motor is going to come out of that bike and go off to K&T, and probably haven't put new cases on it, and there might be something going in that motor's place. I have to keep watching for more. And that motor, the 4mm, is probably going to go in this frame. And I got to get some mothers and clean up all that polished aluminum that is no longer polished, kind of sandblast look a little bit. Do the stingers on the CPIs. This joker had the stock pipe rubbers on there, instead of just buying the aftermarket ones for 30 bucks. Hell, even the Chinese ones are better than the stock. So this will have race cut fenders on the front when it's done. Not the stupid ones that are cut all the way off like this, but the ones that still come up some. So it'll come up a little out from here. It won't go all the way over, but it'll come up some. I always like that look. Cousin had that on his bike and kind of always liked it. I've been pricing some tires and wheels and such. The only thing I can tell you guys is the people out here in the land of communism, they're charging $100 a pop for the Chinese wheels, when you can order Douglas ones for like $30 cheaper or better if you find a place with a deal on them. You might have to wait a little bit, but that's better than buying the Chinese ones. Hopefully the next video I do will be with the GoPro instead of the cell phone. I just saw Michael's Project 250R and I thought it would be cool to do something like that with a Banshee, but not a trail bike, something more dune slash hill shot slash drag race oriented. Have a lot of lightweight shit on the bike. Probably the only guy out there that's 280 who's gonna put all kinds of stupid lightweight stuff on my bike when I could just lose the weight instead. It'd be far cheaper to just lose it. We got the Weiss Raptor. It's got a piece of the desert still left on it there. And a little Outlaw 50 right there. Anyway, that I think will conclude my video until I get more parts. They're coming every few days. I really want to do a video on the clutch that I ordered. I ordered a Panthera clutch coming out of Canada. So you don't have to run a lockup clutch. It's like a 25 disc clutch and fits under the stock cover. So, and I got a set of straight cut gears from them, but I'm gonna have to order another set for this bike because that clutch and the straight cut gear set are getting shipped directly to K&T. And yep, so that's that, and I will do more videos when I have more pieces, parts, or when I've made some progress. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Probably gonna become one of those weenies that says like and subscribe or all that stupidness. Yes, I know my garage is dirty. Yes, I know I need to clean it. I will, don't worry. Later, bye.